Well, it's been a little while since I do this, but this is an opportunity now to get back into live streaming here on the Baseball Banter Broadcast. Previously, this was done on our previous network, Laracuente Legend Network, but I just wanted to get on here and kind of do something a little bit different from the series that we're working on right now, where we're discussing the good, the bad, and the ugly for each team. And specifically, I wanted to focus on the New York Yankees and what's going on with them right now. So, strap in. We're going to get into this kind of conversation for a couple of minutes here about what's happening with the Yankees. So, New York has been struggling for a very long time. Then they would go off and rattle off five straight wins. Now, 2 games later, they've dropped the last 2 games to the Oakland A's, and it's kind of puzzling. It's kind of questioning what's going on with the New York Yankees. This is something that I've already posited a video of here previously on the channel. And the idea is for New York to be struggling the way that they are right now just doesn't make a lot of sense, right? Because when you looked at what this team was on paper way back at the beginning of the season, now it feels like almost an eternity of difference now. The Yankees were a team that was playing unreal baseball, an absolute crazy amount of just separation between the Yankees and the second place teams in Major League Baseball. I mean, they were playing on a level, on par past the Dodgers in reality. And now here we are for a good chunk of the season now. They look like one of the worst teams in baseball. So, you have to begin to wonder, you have to begin to question which exactly is the real New York Yankees. Um, Eminem would have the song back in the day, "For the real Slim Shady, please stand up" was one of the lines within the song. And that's the question that I really now have for the New York Yankees. Will the real New York Yankees please stand up? The fact that you dropped 2 games out of a 4 game set to the Oakland A's, who have traded away everybody. No Matt Olson, no Matt Chapman, no Frankie Montas. They would trade Chris Bassett away at the beginning of the season. There's nobody left really on Oakland in terms of, somewhat recognizable names to baseball fans, household names to baseball fans. And yet the Yankees found themselves dropping 2 of a 4 game set, so splitting the series. Yes, it could have been worse. The Yankees could have lost, but the fact is that on any given day, anybody can beat anybody, right? Which is why the change in the postseason format I'm in favor of, because it will allow the stronger team to kind of prevail in the long term. But the way the Yankees lost these 2 games to the Oakland A's is really where my frustration comes in. Because I genuinely believe in this team. I genuinely believe that while there's a lot to kind of look at and point fingers at and question when the Yankees are going bad, when they're going good, those same things can be questioned. Those same things can be looked at. So we have to begin to wonder, as I just said, who are the real New York Yankees? Was it the team that got off to a 720 winning percentage start this baseball season, or the team that has only been able to win, 30% of their games over the last, month plus that we're now looking at? So there's a serious question as to who this team really is, what their body of work is going to be when all is said and done at the end of the regular season, and even more so, and more importantly for the Yankees, what will their body of work look like in the postseason? Right now, New York is in a position where they're almost guaranteed to make the postseason because of how good of a start they got off to. But, and I have to emphasize this, if New York doesn't get their act together, if the Yankees don't start playing the baseball or even some sort of version of what we saw in the first half, they're not going to be lasting long in the postseason. When you look at how powerful teams like the Astros are, you know that the Yankees are going to have to come face to face with that. Before that, the Yankees are going to have to come face to face with a team like Toronto or Tampa Bay that has been a thorn in the side of the Yankees forever, for the last several years. Toronto, the last couple. Tampa even longer than that. So the Yankees really have to figure out who and what they are. Now, yes, every team has injuries. Every team is going to face injuries. So that's no excuse. The level of pitching quality that is on the Yankees injured list right now is next level. But there's a lot of teams that have suffered big, serious injuries. Clayton Kershaw is set to come back for the Dodgers this week. He's been out. Tyler Glass, now the undoubted ace of the Tampa Bay Rays pitching staff, one of the few guys that they actually have that is a legitimate starter, has been out and will continue to be out, even though he just got an extension to cover his arbitration for next season. Injuries are always going to play a factor. It's how you rebound from that. The Yankees had a tremendous amount of blessing and success in terms of being able to have their players healthy throughout the first half of the season. Now, here in the second half, not quite as much. Nestor's on the IL. I do believe that that's more of a innings management thing than anything else when it comes to Nestor. But Sevy's on the IL. He got moved to the 60-day. Michael King is out for the year. Chad Green is out for the year. Scott Efros is on the IL. Clay Holmes was put on the IL, who was and this was just after his opportunity to really kind of get himself back to being one of the best relievers in all of baseball, as we saw from his time from the All-Star game on. It was not good. Was not good at all. So for the Yankees, you have a lot of talent on the IL right now in terms of your pitching. And really, that's what was sustaining the Yankees at the beginning of the year. Yes, they were getting some clutch hitting. They were getting that timely hitting. They were going to have these different plays that worked out in their benefit that are now not falling their way. The double play from a couple of nights ago in the 11th inning, where DJ LeMahieu just yanked the ball completely to the opposite way. There was no, if, ands, or buts about it. Obviously, the Yankees had a challenge. They used it properly, but we all knew that it was for naught. You know, in the game on Sunday, there was a double play ball that Anthony Rizzo, was called safe. Clearly, he was out from the instant the play happened. You knew he was out. The Yankee graphics were already being put up for closing out the inning. They were moving on to commercial break. Then the Yankees challenge failed that challenge because the Oakland A's challenged it, actually, I should say. Oakland challenged it and got it successfully overturned. The Yankees knew it was a double play, but they were able to try to get some opportunities here. The Yankees had one hit going for what, 17, 18 innings over the course of the last two games. That's not going to win you ball games. And if you can't get a hit and put a series of hits together successfully to plate runs against a team like Oakland, there's no way you're going to be able to do it against a team like Tampa or Toronto or the Astros. It's just not going to happen. And right now, even more so than that, I think that the strength that is the National League right now is really something for the American League teams to fear. And yes, I don't think that the Yankees, if they get themselves back towards the team they were in the first half, they get back to that team, there's no team in baseball that can really stop them. But we haven't seen that now for a good chunk of this season, and it's something to be concerned about. So, I think that, as this season continues, as we get into now September, the dog days of summer are now going to be over. This is the time to really right the ship, get back to being the team that you were at the beginning of the season, get back to getting your players healthy. I think that we're going to get, Clay Holmes coming off the IL for this Angel series starting today. We're going to get Scott Efros back shortly thereafter. And hopefully we can get Sevy back in a couple of weeks and he's healthy and ready to go for the playoff push. Same thing with Nestor. I think there's going to be an opportunity for the Yankees to kind of get everything back together, get everybody back on the roster that they need to be there for this postseason push. Losing Matt Carpenter was a big loss. Losing Giancarlo for the last several weeks was a big loss. And I think that now that we got Stanton back, if we can get Matt Carpenter back and he can get back to playing the way that he was playing for the Yankees before he got injured, to me, it's going to be a very, very good sign for the New York Yankees. So, there's a lot to like about this team. I genuinely, wholeheartedly still believe 100% in the New York Yankees and what they're going to be capable of doing in a postseason run, in a seriously deep postseason run, in my opinion. I genuinely believe that this team does have what it takes and what is necessary to win the World Series. That's not just hyperbole. It's not just for me to kind of say this is a team that I genuinely believe in. Cash came out the other day and just kind of reiterated the fact that he believes in this team, that the organization believes in this team and all that. That's something, he has to do as the GM. But I think that for this franchise, for this team this season, there's a lot to like, and I think that when we get back to seeing that team on the field the way that it should be, the way that it's supposed to be, I think from there we'll start seeing Yankees play the brand of baseball that they had at the beginning of the season. But I want to hear from you guys. Let me know your thoughts, your feelings. Don't forget to subscribe to the Baseball Banter broadcast. There's going to be a few more of these live stream type of videos. Definitely looking to go fully live one of these upcoming days. So make sure you keep it locked in by hitting that subscribe button here on the Baseball Banter Broadcast YouTube channel. I want to thank you guys for joining me. Let me know your thoughts, your feelings down in the comments on the New York Yankees. Yankee fans, what are your thoughts, your feelings on what's going down on the team? Obviously, there's some percentage of Yankee fans that are going to look at it from the negative point of view, some going to be optimistic, but let me know where you come down on these thoughts and theories and everything that I've just had discussed here on the New York Yankees and what's going on. Looking to do more of these live stream videos. So if you like this style format, let me know your thoughts on that down in the comments as well. But I want to thank you guys for joining me here on the Baseball Banter broadcast, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.